Okay, so let's fake buy some stocks. We're going to use a stock simulator. I played with a few of them, and I actually think this one is the best one. It's called StockFuse, Fuse. It's free for the basic version, as far as I know. I don't know that we need the $1.99 upgrade, but who knows. So it's StockFuse, and the other app you want is Yahoo Finance, so you can look at stuff and whatever. I find it's better if I'm really serious about doing research and spending money. I'm going to be on my laptop, and I'm going to be on a browser, and I'm going to have one tab on Yahoo Finance, and I'm going to have another tab at TipRanks, or another tab at Zacks, or another tab at Motley Fool, or another tab, and I'm going to research the stock I'm going to buy at all these different sites on my laptop where I have enough space. Yahoo Finance on the phone is great for just looking up stuff and just quick information. It's invaluable, but it's not. I would not base a buy on anything that I'm looking at on my phone. I really would spend more time on it. So the stock I'm going to buy is this Southwest Airlines, because initially with the other simulator we were looking at, we only had 25,000. But with this stock simulator, we have 100,000. But I still think you're probably going to start, when you start actually buying stocks, at smaller numbers, $1,000 here and $5,000 there. Because the thing is, if you spend $220 on an Apple and you only buy $5,000 of it, you're just not going to make that much money, as opposed to if this Southwest airline goes up to 75 and you've bought $5,000 worth or something, then you're going to make a decent amount of money. If you're buying small, it's better to, buying with small amounts, it's better to buy less expensive stocks, I've found, if you want a bigger return. We'll get on the whole return thing. But anyway, I'm looking at Southwest Airlines. I'm going to click here on View More Data. And I'm going to see that their target price is 68, so I have a $10 window of hypothetical. I see that their revenue is going in the right direction, and their earnings are going in the right direction. So they're making money, and they're keeping the money. The earnings are, after all the expenses are paid, what's the profit? And it's going up every year. They had a little... 2015 and 16 is about the same, but I believe in Southwest Airlines, and look at all the of the 19 people that are covering it, most of them say buy it. So these are the things I kind of look at. Is it below the target rate? Do the analysts say go? But then I would go to other sites and I would read about it as well. And I would ask people that were bankers and knew more than me. So I definitely don't just base it on going to one place and one website and just one. I spend a lot of time if I'm going to spend a fair chunk of money, to make sure I think I'm making the right decision, because it's a big decision when you're spending real money. But let's spend some fake money. We're going to go to StockFuse. So you want to create an account, and you have to verify your email. And this is the first time that I am logging into here. And I can see here you've got like a main feed. So from what I've read about it, it's kind of like a Facebook social media meets stock simulator. And maybe it's for people to teach each other. So like here's somebody that says to buy Starbucks, or maybe he did buy Starbucks. I don't know if you buy a stock and it goes onto your feed, kind of like a Facebook post, but we'll find out. So the first thing I would do with anything is I'd probably add to this watch list on the phone some of the stuff I have in my Yahoo watch list. And I'm going to say, hey, first it's asking me for my watch list name. So I'm going to name this watch list the G Watch, and I can have G Watch 1. And, so you can have a bunch of different watch lists. Because, one could be all tech, one could be all retail. And if you want to get that, I pretty much just throw everything in one place. There's Southwest Airlines, bam. Let's add another one. Let's add Microsoft. Bam. So we have 2 stocks in this watch list. And if we go over here to portfolio, you can see we've got $100,000. Okay, so let's buy something. I haven't done this before on this, so we'll find out. I'm going to hit nope, that's not it. Okay, if you go back to the main feed and up at the top here, place order. All right. So let me explain something. Before I buy this stock, I want to show you one other thing, is that you'll see here on Southwest Airlines, it says $57.33 at close. And then to the right of that, there's $57.19. It's gone down a little more on after hours. So there's after hour trading for, I don't know how you get to be in this elite club that gets to do after hours trading, but also there's before market trading. So the thing that's the one you kind of want to worry about is I always watch after hours and before market, because it can indicate whether you're going to buy something. So what if tomorrow morning in before market trading, before the market opens to the public at 8:30 a.m., all of these pre-market traders, and now it's up to $59. If I go into this app and I say I want to buy Southwest Airlines when it opens, I'm not going to get it at this $57.33 price. I'm going to get it at the price that it opens at. So I never, ever buy stock when the market opens. And I usually try not to buy in the first hour or two sometimes. If you'll notice, things are so volatile between 8:30 and 10:30, and usually by around lunchtime they kind of ease out, and then between 3 and 4:30 everybody gets all crazy again. So I try to wake up, read, see if there's any news. Did the CEO of Southwest Airlines go bankrupt overnight, or did they fire him and hire somebody else? Did anything tragic happen to Southwest Airlines before I buy it? Is it trading a lot? I want to see kind of what's going on with it before I buy it that day. But let's pretend everything's fine. We want to buy it. Here we go. Ticker LUV. Okay. And there it is, Southwest Airlines. Now it's asking me, do you want to buy or do you want to sell short? We do not want to sell, we're not going to get into shorting. We're just going to buy. So it's asking me, do I want a market buy or do I want a limit buy? So if I choose market, I'm saying whatever the price is at the moment that my trade executes, that's the price I'm going to get. So if I went to market and it opens tomorrow morning at $59, bam, I bought it at $59. But then by 9 a.m., it might be back to $56, below even what it opened at. So I never do market. So we're going to do what's called a limit order. And I'm going to say, hey, I want to buy this stock I have a limit of what I'm going to spend, is what it means. So my limit is, so first of all, we have to figure out how much money do we want to spend. This is where I would go to my calculator and I'd say, you know what? It's around $58. Let's say I'm good, I have 100,000 now. So this is going to change my numbers. So if I say $10,000 and I divide it by 58, that's 172 shares. So I'm going to buy 175 shares of Southwest Airlines. Okay. I'm going to go back to StockFuse. I'm going to say, hey, I got my limit. I want 175 shares right there. And I want, 175 shares. And I want my limit order. Where do I set my price? Okay, next. It's saying, what is it saying? I have a limit order. Oh, limit at. So it's kind of not very visible, but you see that flashing little blue line where over in the kind of right in the middle next to limit. It's saying I want to limit this at. So I'm going to actually put $58 because I don't want to pay much more than that. I mean, hopefully if it opens at $55, I'll get it at that. But if the stock opens at $59, this trade will not execute. So I'm going to say next. And I'm going to say, bam, it's $10,000. Next. And I think I hit this button up at the very top next to place order. And placing order. Dun, da, da, da. Did anything happen? Oh, I have buying power of 200,000. Don't even think about that. We only can spend 100,000 because we don't want to get into that because that's a whole other story about buying stuff on margin, which is basically you're borrowing. And then if the stock takes a dive, the bank says, hey, where's that money that you owe us? Because you've spent $150, but you only had $100,000 cash to begin with. It's a disaster. Don't ever buy on margin. But I think I bought it. I'm not quite sure. I guess we will see if I go back to portfolio. I think because the market's closed, it hasn't happened. But basically, that's how we do it. We go here, we say buy, we put in the ticker. Sometimes, most of the time, what I'll do is I will wake up, look at the stock market, and before I place an order, I'll place it at just market, but I'll be confident that it's at a place where I can buy it, and we'll get into that. But this is a good start, and off we go.